It's Ash from SuperVideos, back for another video for The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live. In this video, we're going to be breaking down what they revealed in the premiere episode as far as what the A and B categories are in the CRM when they decide who will become a Civic Republic citizen and who will not become a citizen. So we're going to take a look and break it down, and I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions about how this reveal could cause some plot holes in the story when we look back at The Walking Dead's main show with Rick's exit, and also what we saw in The Walking Dead World Beyond. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So of course it was Donald Okafor who revealed to Rick Grimes and Pearl Thorne what the A's and B's are in the CRM. This is what he had to say. The CRM designates people they find as A's and B's. A's have a strength. A's will die for what they believe in. People follow A's. So in other words, A's are leaders. And then he continues to say, the few that we bring in, they're classified as B's. B's get in. A's are sent away and killed, except you two, referring to Pearl Thorne and Rick Grimes. Now, of course, this is much different than the categorizations that were rumored and the initial understanding of what A's and B's were, because initially we thought that A's were test subjects and B's were people who could become important figures within the Civic Republic and possibly the CRM. So this classification that was actually given is very different than what we originally thought. And in my opinion, there are a lot of weird issues with this particular way to describe the classification. But let's take things one step at a time. On one hand, I totally understand that the CRM wouldn't risk bringing in people who might have opinions of their own, people who might cause problems, people who might end up wanting to be leaders themselves and overthrow the current leadership. So I totally understand that the CRM wouldn't want to bring in those types of people. And this is where the first problem is. Why would they even bother bringing in A's if they're just going to send them away and kill them? Because if you think about it, there's a contradiction. If A's are leaders and if A's are the types of people who don't follow rules, then what makes the CRM believe that A's would go out and get killed for them? So the only way this makes sense is if the CRM is really holding on to hope that they can use these A's for as long as possible before they cause problems. And then at that point, they kill them off. It just doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean? Like, why would you put all of that resource? It just doesn't quite fit. And also, if you think about it, wouldn't you think that A's are more rare in this world? Most people are survivors who are just surviving day by day, or people that are from a community or what used to be a community. It's rare to find people who have leadership skills. So wouldn't it be better for the CRM to bring in people like Rick Grimes who are leaders because of what they can achieve as being leaders of a growing society? So that's another aspect of it that doesn't quite make sense. And another thing that doesn't make sense is how this contradicts with what we saw in the main show. We know that Jadis was originally gonna give up Rick Grimes as an A to the CRM, but then changed it to a B. And this kind of makes sense because Jadis saw Rick as a leader. So she wanted to bring him in as a leader to get into the CRM. Why would CRM even accept? Jadis didn't really know anyone at CRM. She just traded with them. So what leverage did she have to not only get in herself, but let them take in an injured Rick Grimes who's on his deathbed? It just doesn't really make sense. And of course, what is with what she did with trying to make them prove themselves by bringing in the walkers and everything before giving them up to the CRM? That aspect of it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense that Jadis was gonna trade people like Negan and Father Gabriel to the CRM. Because again, like I said earlier, she was doing that whole prove yourself by killing the walkers thing with them. And that doesn't appear to be anything remotely connected to what A's and B's are all about. Like before, when we thought that maybe A's are test subjects or something like that, which they teased in World Beyond, then maybe Jadis's actions would have made a little bit of sense, because maybe she would have Negan and Father Gabriel get bit and then take him in when they turned as a test subject. But that doesn't appear to be what A's and B's are about, so it doesn't really make sense. And of course, as part of that, what they put in World Beyond with the test subjects just doesn't quite align with anything anymore. So in some way, it makes the whole thing, as far as what Jadis was doing and what they did in World Beyond and what they actually explained A and B to be, to not really work together. Like, there's a lot of contradictions. There's a lot of pieces that don't really work together with this explanation. So that's why I'm in the camp that this was a good explanation, but it was definitely something that creates more plot holes than explain things. And in my opinion, it just has a lot of flaws to it. The only way they could make this work is if they explain that Donald Okafor was lying and A's and B's are not what he said they are. That's the only way that you could possibly make everything work and explain things in a way that connect to other things and there's a bit more continuity. Like, if they actually have it so that Donald Okafor lied and it is in fact that A's are test subjects and B's are people who just get into the CRM because they can help the society grow, then everything that we saw before makes sense and it lines up. But if it's anything other than that, then makes absolutely no sense. And let's not forget, Heath was traded to the CRM too. So what was he traded in as? Heath wasn't an A, and there's absolutely no reason why Jadis would have thought he's an A. He was probably traded in as a B, which brings up the question, why isn't Heath in The Ones Who Live? I mean, story-wise, it would help if we see Heath in the community at some point, but we're probably not going to see him. So because of that, I feel like the whole thing doesn't really flow the way it needs to if we take Donald Okafor's words as far as what A's and B's are. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.